It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, Black Friday shopping, Cyber Monday today. It is time for the Geno Jones Show. I guess you figured that out, right? You can see that? So I come to you live. My normal days and start times are Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago. If you're out in the West Coast, out in Los Angeles, out in the Bay Area, up in Portland, Oregon, or maybe Seattle, Washington, 3:30 p.m. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. You and everybody you know, everybody you love, everybody you like, folks. You just, we all right. Folks you can't stand. Folks you hate, strangers, aliens from outer space, tell them all. Right here, it is Must See TV. I'm bringing back one of my guests that was on with me Friday. I was honored to go out and see the amazing work that they did, the amazing amount of just giving on a whole nother level. My brother Kendrick, Al Bannister, you know, you saw him last week. He's with the Crate Group and regional director for the Triple E program. And we will have, I know as a matter of fact, we have Mrs. Felisa Grant David. She's with the Columbia Urban League, and we're expecting one more guest. So we'll tell you all about that. First, let me tell you about the weekend. So I got a chance to relax. Like I said, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about that. It was really low-key, but I got a chance to see just some incredible nonprofits doing God's work. But got a chance to watch some TV Saturday night. Shout out to Mr. Byron Allen, who owns like all these media companies, including the Weather Channel and including the Griot TV. So he put on the Griot Awards. They honored, to me, the greatest actor ever, Denzel Washington, Mariah Carey, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, gave a nice Barack Obama-esque speech. We love you, Rock, but we don't need your ass running for president. Keep doing movies. Everybody, because Orange Jumpsuit Hitler got everybody thinking that they can be president. No. WW, get in that ring, or go ahead and get behind that camera, keep making the movies. Because some people's like, oh, I think there were some polls out said that a lot of people would vote for him for president. Stop, y'all. You know, you got to bring some receipts. Got to come with some qualifications. Because people got it twisted. Just because you had an aberration, you know, you had the demon seed that snuck in and got elected. No, everybody's not cut out. That job is not for everybody. As a matter of fact, that job is just for very few. But shout out to my man, The Rock. Eddie Murphy was honored. Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett Hilaire. So she is the sister. She is a doctor, scientist that discovered one of the, as a matter of fact, the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Because she said they had been working on something similar. So when she saw this COVID-19 virus hit, she's like, hey, you know, we've seen a similar virus. We got a vaccine for that. So shout out to her. Also, let me see, who else got it? Kevin Hart, Tamron Hall, Reverend Al Sharpton, and Steve Harvey. So congratulations to all those honorees. It was really a great program. And once again, shout out to and some great performances. Check it out if you haven't, you want to see it. And Byron Allen gave a very powerful speech. So shout out to you, Byron Allen. Now, Sunday night, you had the Soul Train Awards. As a matter of fact, let me click a button because that's going to be my third guest. The Soul Train Awards was on last night on BET. SZA, who you've been hearing me talk about all year long, her album SOS was like #1 for the whole damn year. It was like nearly 52, virtually almost every week of 2023, SZA's album was #1. So she was a big winner. She got 4 Soul Train Awards. Album of the Year, how could she not? Song of the Year, And let's see, album of the year, song of the year, the best R&B soul female artist. Usher won 3 awards, and then his girl Keke Palmer. Well, that the whole video, Keke Palmer, she went out to Vegas, with the girls, saw Usher, Usher show in Vegas, and then the baby daddy got jealous, and then he was shading on social media, and then Keke was like, okay, I'll fix you. I'm gonna do this video with Usher. You're gonna really be in your feelings. Then they broke up, but then they got back together. So I don't know what the hell's going on with them. But anyway, so shout out to Usher. He got 3 Soul Train awards last night. Victoria Monet, On My Mama. That's the name of the song. You've heard it. Your kids have heard it. That's the sister that made it, Victoria Monet, On My Mama. So she got 2 awards last night. So congratulations to all the winners, all the live performances. My buddy October London, who's got to be the big winner next year. He should win everything. Grammys, BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, American Music Awards, Your Mama Awards, all of them. October London is doing his thing. He performed his hit song, Back to Your Place. Coco Jones and SWV, they kind of did like this remix version of Rain. It was amazing. And speaking of Coco, the lead singer, that's ironic. You had Coco Jones and you had SWV and the original lead singer, Coco. I love the look. So she cut her hair. She got the little short fro, got blonde. She was looking good, she was looking great, sounding great. So shout out to SWV and Coco Jones. Mooney Long performed, Janelle Monáe, T-Pain. Shout out to Mr. T-Pain. He got the Legends Award and he performed live. He did like a medley of all of his hits. So that was pretty cool. All right, before I bring on my guest, happy birthday, Sagittariuses. My mom's son, her birthday's December 15th. Shout out to Robin Givens. Robin, you and your mama really did Mike Tyson dirty. I'm just saying. I love you, Robin. But you really did that man dirty. And he was having issues. He was having some challenges. Yes. Because, we wasn't really going to see therapists like we should have been. Really, every black person on the planet probably, we should have a therapist on call for free for all the drama that we've gone through. I digress. But Robin, you and your mama did Mike Tyson dirty. Now, he might have did you a little dirty, but you did it on national TV. And Barbara Walters, rest in peace, Barbara, but you were wrong. You were dirty for that too. Y'all made that man look bad. Jaleel White, Steve Urkel from Family Matters, 47 today. Man, Urkel is 47? Man, y'all getting old. My man from the west side of Chicago, K-Town, Twista. His real name is Carl Mitchell. And in 1992, he broke the Guinness Book of World Records. He was the fastest rapper on the planet because he could rap so fast. And he actually set a record, documented. That was back in 1992. I don't know how fast he can rap now. He turned the big nickel, the big 50 today. And Shawnee O'Neal from Basketball Wives and Basketball Wives LA and Baller Wives and Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife is 49 today. And really, the sister's doing her thing, producing TV shows. So I am not mad at Shawnee. Here locally, I got to send a big shout out to a friend of the show, one of my guest co-hosts from back in the day, Groove Master Dre. Happy birthday, Groove Master Dre. I know you're out there watching. Y'all see Groove Master. He's legal. Buy him a drink. But unless he's driving. If he's driving, I'll buy him a drink and call him an Uber or Lyft and send him home that way. And happy heavenly birthday. I got 2 birthdays. Remember Uncle Phil? Uncle Phil on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, James Avery. Happy heavenly birthday, born on this day back in 1945. He passed away, joining the ancestors in 2016. And the man who many say was the greatest guitar player ever, definitely one of the greatest of all time, Jimi Hendrix, who played with the early Isley. He was in their band. As a matter of fact, if you saw the show when they had Ronald Isley on, he talked about Jimi Hendrix way back in the day, in the early 60s, was actually in the Isley Brothers playing guitar. So, and he was also the guitar player in Little Richard's band. So Jimi Hendrix, born on this day in 1942. I believe he committed suicide or OD way back in 1970. So he was still a young man. So happy heavenly birthday to Uncle Phil and to Jimi Hendrix. Now my guest, Kendrick Al Bannister. He was on last Tuesday with the Crate Group and the regional director of the Triple E Foundation. And also with him, as I bring all these beautiful and handsome faces on the show, Mrs. Felisa Grant David and Regina Williams with the Columbia Urban League. I welcome to the show. Thank you all for joining me. I hope everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you ate enough, maybe even too much, as long as you didn't upset your stomach. So as long as your tummy was full and you had a good time with your family and friends, then it's all good. How we doing today? Unmute everybody. There we go. There we go.
We're good, man. We're good. Thank you for having us.
All right. And Mrs. Grant David and Mrs. Regina Williams, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. So let me just start off. So Al, I want to start off with what I had the honor to witness on Thursday. So this man you see on camera, along with several different nonprofits that he'll tell you all about. They had wow, you have to help me out. I don't know how to describe it because, there are a lot of nonprofits that were cooking hot meals, but you all did something that was so next level. As a matter of fact, I've never seen it done that way and so well organized, the logistics. So not only did this brother lead a group of nonprofits that served hot meals to over 1,100 people, but they provided not used, not slightly used or worn, new everything, clothes. I saw shoes, furniture, like not appliances, but things you could use for your house. It was the most incredible thing. There were people who went just expecting to get a meal for them and their family, and they were able to get shoes and clothes and things they needed for their house and comforters and blankets, and there were people in tears. So our brother Al, brother Kendrick, just, man, congratulations is just not the word. It was just really, it was amazing to see, and I was so honored just to witness it and just to see the reaction on so many people. And like I said, the logistics, man, FedEx and UPS ain't got nothing on y'all, Amazon. Because, you all had a system. The lines flowed, and you had so many volunteers. So I really wanted to honor you. I wanted to bring you back. I really wanted to elevate what you were doing. And I know you got these dynamic sisters with you, and they're doing great work. But I had to give you huge props and shout you out for what I witnessed with my own eyes on Thanksgiving Day. And it was just an honor just to witness it. So congratulations, man.
Great, man. Well, first of all, thank you for coming out. And to your wife, man, I hope she's feeling better.
Yes, she is.
Great. Well, that was just a concept that we have going on. And we're saying together we're helping hands. And through that, we had about 10 nonprofits get together from churches. We had 10 chefs from all the Hiltons do all the cooking. So when they came through, they didn't know they were going to get the blessings of all the new stuff. We gave away over $120,000 worth of brand new household items for everybody. So everybody came in, from the dogs, the animals, to the babies, to the adults and everything. They got everything out there. So we were blessed to reach about 1,100 people with hot meals. And that many also walked away with things. So also, one of the great things that we did with that, I had my Crate team out there, and we did signups for the Triple E program. And I have my lovely cohorts with me now. And that's what we want to talk about today. The Triple E program is a program set from the Columbia Urban League. and it's in concept with the South Carolina Department of Education. And we're here to teach the parents how to advocate for their students, their kids, their community, and themselves. Um, and my cohorts, Miss McDavid and Miss Williams, I mean, they're beasts, man. I mean, awe of them, so I'm learning. So when I was able to reach out to them to see if they could assist me with the day, I just want you to hear what's really going on, man. This is the whole state of South Carolina. I control the Low Country region, which is Berkeley County, Dorchester County, and Charleston counties. And Ms. McDavid, she does the PD area, and Ms. Williams does the Midlands, the Columbia area. And I'm just going to open it up to them to just navigate from that point, man, because it's amazing what we're able to do with the knowledge and the power of what they're able to offer us.
Well, I want to thank once again, listen, Mrs. Grant David Felisa and Miss Regina Williams. Listen, ladies, thank you. We were talking last week, and there were so many things we were trying to cover, but I kind of brought up the subject of education, which is really a passion of mine. I've been promoting education on my show with a feature I've been doing for nearly 20 years. And now we're living in times where you've got politicians and other forces that are trying to ban books and don't want the truth taught, because Black history is American history, and it is the truth. And so much of that is going on, which is really a major concern and pet peeve of mine. So anything I can do to support education, as Kendrick will tell you, I'm 10 toes down. So when he told me about what you guys are doing, I was really excited to bring you guys on. So whoever wants to take it first, you can just kind of fill in from where Kendrick was and let everybody know the great work that you're doing and how we can help.
Ms. Williams, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You may go. That's fine.
Okay. Geno, you mentioned some of the issues that are affecting our community in education. And that is perhaps one of the primary reasons this program was started. As a result of the pandemic, we know that there was learning loss across the nation. And when we look at our students of color, our African American students, our Latino students, and our students in impoverished areas, we find that the learning loss was even more substantial. So this program, in collaboration with the South Carolina Department of Education, allows us to go out and to provide resources for parents, community members, anyone who's interested in closing the achievement gap could be a part of this program. We provide resources. We teach parents, as Kendrick said, how to be better advocates for themselves and their students. And we also teach our students how to advocate for themselves. I recently took on the role as the regional manager in the PD region. I live in Myrtle Beach. So I've been covering Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, Horry County, and all of the PD. And within the last 3 months, I have reached out and been able to assist so many families across this region with resources, with advocacy, helping them in special ed meetings, just a plethora of resources that we bring to the table. So I'm very proud to be a part of this program. I'm a retired principal, so I'm very well inept in what's going on in education and how to help our parents and our students. Miss Regina Williams has been a part of the program before I came on, and she's a wonderful parent navigator, which is another piece of the program that is a hands-on resource for parents. So I'm gonna let Miss Regina talk about what she does as a navigator.
Oh, great. And Miss Regina, before you jump on, speaking of educators, so when I'm on live, I have a chat room that's open where people can type a question or comment or just let me know they're watching. So a point of privilege, I want to shout out my baby sister who's watching me. She was a little under the weather. Her name is Angela Jones. But why that's important, I wanted to jump in. She's a teacher in the Chicago public school system, and she's been teaching for a while. So teachers are near and dear to my heart. My mom is a nurse, and I feel nurses in a lot of ways are like teachers. Some nurses Better than some of the doctors they work for. But that's a whole nother conversation. So I just wanted to recognize her. Ms. Williams, thank you for being so patient. And tell us all the great work that you're doing.
Well, good evening. I can say that I have been a part of the educational system as a teacher for 30 years, and I retired. But even more so than being a part of the system as a teacher, I was a part of the system as a parent
Okay.
of a child who had multiple um, different learning abilities. So I didn't understand. And she was 7 years old when she was diagnosed. And from then, I started researching and seeing what I could do to help my daughter. So, with that, I was always going and reaching out for resources. I mean, we've had live PD to come to my house because
Oh, wow.
of some of her antics. But because I had resources, it never got shown on regular TV. So it's about making those connections and being a part of a team. So I had a team from the time she was 7 until even now she's 28. So what I did when I retired, I wanted to do for other parents what people did for me. And that's what I started doing. And then this program came about, and my daughter was a part of the Urban League. One of the directors over there was her parent navigator or navigated me through the system. And so I use my learned experiences, my lived experiences, and my learned experiences to help parents now navigate the system. For example, you may go into a meeting, a parent may go into a meeting and they say, well, before we can do an IEP, we have to make sure that the LRE has been fully satisfied. And you have a parent there unknowing to what they're speaking about. And what they mean, Felicia, is that before they can do an individual educational plan, they have to make sure that their least restricted environment has been fully satisfied. Well, parents don't know what that means. So I also coach parents before we go in. So we can't go there with bonnets on and fluffy fluffy shoes. And you must focus, pay attention during the meeting. And because they will respect you, you should always go dress the way you want to be addressed.
That's a good point. Go up
And a lot of
like you showing up for a job interview or showing up to borrow money to start a company or something like that.
Yes, yes. So then once we get in there, I don't take over the meeting because we've trained the parents that you listen. I take notes because you can't listen, pay attention, and write decent notes at the same time. If the parent doesn't understand something, they know to stop the person and say they don't understand. Now, I jump in if it seems as if there's some agitation there about explaining to the parent. Then I'll jump in and kind of clear the way for the parent to go back in. But then that's what I do. And then we find other resources. We have we may start out with a parent. We're thinking that we're only working with one child. Come to find out, the parent may have 4 or 5 other children in the household whose activities directly relate to the activities of the child that we're working with. So we find other resources. And then I go on and on and on, but that's generally what a navigator does.
So let me ask all three of you guys, because this is such important work outside of coming on shows like mine. Um, how do parents find out about these resources? I'm sure you guys have some type of outreach, but for those who may be watching, who may have a son or daughter or a grandchild that they're just having challenges with the principals or the teachers or the kids or whatever, what would you recommend? And anybody and everybody can take that.
Ms. Grant, Ms. David, McDavid.
Well, one of the things I would recommend to parents and community members who may be watching this show is the easiest thing to do would be to go to the Columbia Urban League's website. On that website, there is a menu that you can choose from, and within the menu is programs selection. I would select that, and you will find the Triple E program, and that Triple E stands for Equity and Excellence in Education, and it's a parent support program. And at the bottom of that program listing is a way for parents to sign up. We have, when I go out and I speak to parents, we have these brochures that we take with us. There's a QR code on the back, which is very simple. They simply scan the QR code. It takes you right to the form. This is a free program. That's right, Ms. Regina. It's a free program for all students across the state of South Carolina. Although it comes out of the Columbia Urban League, we have parent navigators and regional managers throughout the state who make sure this information is going out. When I retired in July, like Ms. Regina, I said, I have seen it from an administrative point of view. I've been at the table with parents. I've seen parents frustrated, not very assured of themselves or knowledgeable about the processes that go on, not just for special ed meetings, parent meetings. I was in a special ed meeting this morning with a parent, serving as an advocate and teaching that parent to be an advocate for a parent in Greenville County. So we are available to provide those resources. I've had to call on Miss Regina for parents in the Columbia area where she is, because there was a McKinney-Vento type incident that was going on and the parent needed some assistance. Ms. Regina was able to go in and knock it out for that parent. So we really want parents to utilize this program. In the Low Country, you have Kendrick. He has the information. I'm sure he will provide that for you, and parents can reach out to him. They can reach out to me personally. My phone number is on the back of this. Ms. Regina's is on the back of hers for her area. And I welcome parents to reach me by phone or email, or simply call the Columbia Urban League office or utilize their website. Okay. That's probably the easiest way.
Thank you, Ms. Grant David. I was just going to say, for those who are watching, they may not have internet. I mean, listen, there's still times that are challenging for too many of us, unfortunately. And I witnessed that Thursday, Brother Kendrick. So I was going to say, if maybe somebody's watching and they're watching on somebody else's phone or watching at somebody else's house, is their contact phone number where they can reach out to you guys and get the resources and get the help and the advocates like you guys have. If there's a phone number, because you guys are in 3 different regions, if you want to give out that phone number, please go ahead.
Yeah, I can give you the Columbia Urban League's office, and that's our central location, our headquarters where our program director, Ms. Juanita Dean, is located. And they can simply call 803-929-1041 and simply tell us what area they live in, and they will connect parents to one of us. So that's probably the very easiest way to do that. Okay. Call the Columbia Urban League's office.
Is that for like all 3 regions? Brother Kendrick, is that for your region and yours, Mr. Williams too? Same number?
Well, that's the easiest way for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Columbia Urban League's actual office, and they headquarter this program. So they will be able to give out personal phone numbers and emails wherever you live in the state of South Carolina.
Okay. So yeah. Brother Kendrick, they should call that same 803 number, or do you have a specific number for here in the Low Country?
We do have a number in the Low Country, but for television purposes right now, don't want to confuse anybody. That 929-1041 number would be the best number to assess us. For example, on Thursday, we went through at least 150 parents who did the scan QR code and sitting in line, have nothing else to do but wait to get through their process. And I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And what we did on Thursday was really just communicate to the parents on the importance of now.
Yeah.
The importance of now. You know, we like in our culture, in our society, we like to say, we'll do it later, we'll do it later. And later never comes. And I want to say we did right about 200 on scanning on Thursday, another 100 on just emailing and write down their information. And about 40% of that was outside of my area.
Wow.
You know, that was like the Walterboro, College County area where they truly need a whole lot of these services. And a lot of people just didn't know these services existed. So that's why it was so important for me today, not to just talk about me or the situation that we just did, but to bring these lovely women on that have so much experience, so that we can get this word out, so that we can actually do what God has us to do in this community, and that's to help each other.
Well, it's so important because Kendrick, I'm sorry not to cut you off. You were just saying that unfortunately some of the parents they were talking about, well, we can wait and do it later. Our kids can't wait.
Correct.
They really needed this help like yesterday, like last year. So they can't afford to wait. So and other communities are not waiting. So we shouldn't wait, because our community we need the help, because the challenges are more for so many different social, economic, and racial reasons. It's just a fact. Brother Kendrick, you know, I keep it. I'm gonna tell the truth, shame the devil, as my grandmother taught me. So
right.
That's why it was so important that I wanted to bring all three of you guys on, because this is so important. There's really nothing more important than our children, because they really are the future. And a lot of people, they say that, but they don't live it. You know, it's one thing to say kids are priority, but your actions and your behavior on a consistent basis, like every day, your life's work should reflect what your mouth is saying. Don't say they are priority, and what your life's work don't reflect none of that. So you know, Kendrick, you know how I am. Sister Williams and Sister David, you know, Kendrick can tell you, you know, I'm animated about stuff like that, and I'm passionate, and I'm gonna give it to them straight, no chaser. I'm not gonna water it down, because, you know, like I said, we don't have time to waste. It's been enough time wasted. I want to thank you guys for coming on. You have a permanent home on this show. Anytime that there's any information that you want to get out, you have a permanent home. Contact me, and we'll have you guys on. Once again, if you don't mind, give out the that 803 number for anybody watching. This is an episode. Y'all need to make this go viral, like y'all making Sexy Red and what Diddy is doing. Y'all making that viral. This is relevant, because this can.
I don't know how to make it viral, but I'm sure Kendrick will tell me.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
The work that these ladies and this gentleman is doing is going to it's going to change lives for the better.
It is.
So I'm off my soapbox now. So you ought to give out that number once again, so that parents can reach out to you and get this help.
Well, Geno, we also want to tell everybody also, we're willing and ready and able to go to your church, your local grocery store, if you're under the tree, you know, wherever you at and you want this assistance, we're willing to come to where you at and meet you at your point to give you this information. So all you have to do is call 803-929-1041, and they will reach out to the PD area, the Midlands area, the Greenville area, or the upper state, should I say, or the low country, and get us to you, where we will navigate whatever we have to do to make it better for the family. We definitely want to give a big shout out to the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. James McLahorn, if I'm pronouncing that right, Jr. He's the director of the whole Columbia Urban League. Then our director, Miss Juanita Dean. I want to say thank you to Miss Grant McDavid. Um, just your wealth of knowledge and all your years of expertise in the education field. I'm honored just to be
Yes,
absorb what
definitely.
you're doing. And to Miss Williams, that agape love you have for just loving up on your own child to grow from that point to help someone else's child. I commend you. From a black man to some black women, thank you and we love you.
And it's so important. I live this. I say it, but I live it. The dad in me comes out anytime I see any child. I see my child, even though they're adults now. But
Absolutely.
when I see any child, I see my child in those, and I will say or do whatever I can to help or protect, because I would hope and pray that somebody, if they saw my child in need or guidance or direction, that they would do the same thing. So I try to lead and live by example. So you guys are just doing amazing work, doing God's work. Thank you for coming on, Mrs. Felisa, Grant David, and Miss Regina Williams with the Columbia Urban League. Even though Miss Grant David, you were doing your work up in, did you say Myrtle Beach?
I do Myrtle Beach, the PD region. I'm a Charleston native, so I do work in Charleston with my family. So I'm all over the state.
Oh, cool. Were you a principal or teacher here in Charleston?
No, I taught in Dorchester too.
Okay. What school?
Yeah, DuBose Middle.
Okay. All right. So I do a feature on my show called Geno's Academic All Stars, where parents in the area, they send me a copy. If the kids have an A average, they send me the report card, and I feature them on my radio show like I would any celebrity, and they get tickets to go to different events in different places like Sky Zone and Stingrays hockey games, River Dogs baseball games, and they can win like tablets, iPads, and laptop computers. So I've been doing it for nearly 20 years. So
yes, I was going to say I commend you on your work. Having grown up in the Low Country and working in the Low Country, I've seen your contributions. And my cousin David Mack III had a radio show as well in Charleston.
I remember.
And I did some similar work.
Great. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming on. So, Brother Kendrick, we're going to have to run it back real soon because you got a big event that's coming up in December. So when you come back, the whole episode, we can talk all about that. But I want to thank everybody once again, Kendrick, Al Bannister.
Thank you.
Mrs. Felisa, Grant David, and Miss Regina Williams.
Thank
you all for making our kids, because all these kids are our kids. So thank you for making our kids and our community a priority. God bless you, and hope to see everybody again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. All right. That's really, let me just click this button here real quick. But I want to thank all of them for coming on because that's so important, man. You all know how I am about education and young people. They are our future. All right. We talk a lot about, we love kids and kids. So-and-so love the kids and the kids are a priority. What you say and how you live your life and your life's work and what you're doing don't reflect none of that. So I'm just saying, if you say you love the kids and if kids are our number one priority, then act like it and let your life's work show that kids are our number one priority. Or just hush. Just stop lying. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You and you. I want to thank everybody for watching me live. Of course, my mother's watching. My number one fan, my baby sister. I'm glad you're feeling better. The birthday man, Guru Master Dre, and everybody else. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be on this Tuesday, the 28th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you missed some of this episode, go back and binge watch this and every episode. Shout out to Mark Hill Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up, and Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her collection out, lx.ncl_. So until Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern live, thank you for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.